Welcome back to African Air Ordnance. Today we're going to be installing the new Magnum 2020 upgrade for the Seneca Dragon Claw 50 cal. And first we're just going to go through a couple of the kind of housekeeping that needs to be done. And I'm just not going to go into detail or length about it, but just to show you what needs to be done. Firstly, we're going to do the trigger. Okay, so it's very important to polish that point on the trigger, and how that is done is simply take some water paper, like 1000 grit or 1500 grit water paper, and it's to just polish the contact area, just like that. Now I've already gone ahead and done that, but this is just to show you how to do that. So that's the point. The next thing one's going to do is we're going to take out the little spring that's in here, and we're going to put in the one that came with the. So that's the old spring. And we're going to put in the new spring that comes with the kit. So we're going to pop that in right there. Okay. This is a softer spring, so what it's going to do is going to make your trigger pull a lot lighter. So that just goes in over there. Okay. So that's your trigger now done. Next thing. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to change the O-rings on this front piece. For the gas tube, and so we've already taken the old ones off, so we're just going to simply put on the new ones, so they just slide on like that. Okay, and then when you've done that, what you want to do is you just want to spray a bit of silicone spray on that. Okay, so that's that one done. The next one is to do the one that is on the end of, for the bottom tank. So again, get your hook and get under that old O-ring. Take that one off. And under the other O-ring. Okay, here's the old ones. Next, we're going to take these new ones, slide them over, and again, slide them over like that. Now we just want to give that a nice spray. Silicone oil. Alright. Then we're going to do is we're going to install the valve. Alright. It's kind of important that just to loosen it up so it relaxes the O-ring here. Alright. Again, a bit of silicone oil. Just make it so it's just like that. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to push that down too. Okay. And that's where the actual stock bolt comes in handy, because you can use this to now push this through. Okay, and we just want to get it to that point where you can see the transfer port slot is. Okay, so we just want to make sure that's aligned. So before we put the screws in there, I always put the transfer port in. Okay, just got to make sure that's aligned. Okay, so the transfer port is in like that. We're going to put the first screw in. Alright. Just going to make sure that it goes in not all the way tight. We're just going to make sure the next one. Okay. Again, we're not going to tighten these up until all three are in place. That's that one. And then the next one. This is lined up. Okay, so now we can go ahead and just tighten those all in place. Alright. Okay, that's that. Alright, so the next stage we are going to put the hammer back in now. Alright, and it's important to make sure that that hole stays like that. Okay, and we're just going to put the cocking handle back in here just to make sure that that stays in place. Okay, while we're putting the hammer spring back in. Next, we're going to put the hammer spring and the hammer spring guard in place. Alright, and that gets held in place just by a simple pin. It's a split pin actually. So that goes in. Sometimes it requires a bit of a tap. there she is. So she's in there now. So that's your hammer spring in place. All right. And also put the transfer port in, and we're just going to double check all these screws again just to make sure that they are all tight. Okay, like that. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a long threaded bar that we've made our flathead screwdriver. We're going to turn this around, and what we want to do now is we want to put this down inside the air tube, and we want to find the slot in the, okay, found it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten that. And what's that going to do is it's going to put pressure on that O-ring and force it to seal. Okay, just, you want to over tighten it, just like that. So that's that done now. It's a very important step. Also, nice time to give a bit of silica oil sprayed right down there. Alright, so that is that done. Next, we're going to reinstall the air tube end cap. Alright, and that now, just going to go, that just screws in. And simply like this. So I just want to make sure that these O-rings match those O-rings over there and screwed in. Alright, so that's that part done. Alright, next thing is we're going to install the receiver cover onto the air tube assembly. Okay, this can be a bit difficult, and I'm just going to make sure that that is seated right on. Okay, press it down, and then what we're going to do is, okay, and we're just going to screw these guys back in. And these you're going to screw down nice and tight. Right, so that's that part. Alright, next thing is we want to reinstall the trigger group. Alright, so just want to make sure that those two there hook together like that. And hold the trigger down when you do this. Okay, and you want to install this from the front because this can sometimes be difficult to get in. Just got to get it started. There we go. Okay, so that's like that. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to install these screws. Alright, down the bottom. That one goes in there. Okay, and then it's just the two side screws. One goes there. Just like that. Okay, and the side ones you don't really want to over tighten too much. They can be a bit finicky at first. Okay, and then just like that. Okay, now you can also go ahead and screw in the cocking handle. Alright, just goes like that. And that's screwed in. Now next thing we want to do is we're going to just cock it like that. Because if we don't pre-cock it, when we go to fold it up with air, it's going to put pressure on the valve, and the valve is just going to stay open. So just keep it back there. You can put it on safety. Just leave it like that for the rest of the assembly. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the barrel back on. Alright, so we're just going to spray it down with a bit of silicone oil. Always use silicone oil, never use a chemical based or a petroleum based lubricant. They eat the O-rings. Alright, so we're going to put this back in here like that. Just going to slide it through. That. Much easier. And just going to slide this chappy through here. You don't need to get all the way because we still got to put our big brass breech slide on. So the best way to do that is just to hold that like that. Okay. There she goes. And it's important we want to make sure that this is the slot, the loading bay port slot is at the right angle. Okay. And then we just want to hit this back. Takes a bit of effort sometimes to get these back on. There we go, she's back on. Alright. So that's back on, and there's your breech line. Okay. Next thing is, we also want to put the plastic trunking back that goes between the barrel and the air tube. And we have a look at it like that. We're just going to slide the trunking down, just like that. Okay. I'm going to push it back. I'm going to make sure it goes all the way back to right there. Okay. Now, lastly, we're going to give that a good spray down. Okay. And we're going to bring the front sight block on now, and we're going to install that. This can be quite difficult to put back on because we've got new O-rings, but you just have to kind of use a bit of force to get it on. Okay. Slide it down. Okay, there she's back on, right? Okay, so at this point you can go put the retaining rings back on. Alright. The retaining rings. So that's all in place. Now, before we go and put the stock and everything back on, what we're going to do is we're going to give it an air test. There's no point in assembling if things are leaking. So we're going to do that next. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill it with air. What can happen is when you first start to fill it, you might hear that the valve is leaking out the barrel, and that's pretty normal. And as pressure builds up, it should seal it. So let's go. Alright, it's actually just sealing straight away, which is a good thing. Now we're just going to slowly fill it. She's taking very nice and slowly. We'll let the air pressure build up until we hit 200 bar. Next, we'll just bleed it. Okay. And then we can go disconnect. So there she's sitting at 200 bar. And now we can go ahead and put the stock and the foregrip on. Alright, lastly, we're going to put the stock back on the rifle. So we'll just take the shaft and screw it back into the receiver. Okay, just like that. Nice and tight. Next thing, you're going to slide the stock over. Okay, just like that. Now, this is a bit of a tricky part. So we've got to either use your long screwdriver or else we've got our thread bar. We're going to find that nut. Going to torque it up on this end. So this is nice and tight. Okay. So that's that point done. Let's stop back on. Yeah. Okay. Next is our handguard. Okay. And that's simply going to screw on like that. Okay, there she is. And the last thing we're going to do is we just want to put that plug back in. And that just goes in like that. Yeah. So that's a fully installed upgrade kit from African Ordnance.